The Thanksgiving Day holiday in America originated centuries ago with a harvest celebration in Plymouth, Massachusetts in 1621. For many Americans, the holiday is also a time to celebrate the arrival of the first immigrants to the New World. But historians say it is important to remember that without the help of the Wampanoag tribe, Europeans back in those days may not have survived to celebrate. Here's VOA's Cristina Caicedo Smit.
It's been 397 since a group of pilgrims arrived in the New World from Europe on board the Mayflower. On arrival, they found out that they were already people in the New World. The Wampanoag had already been on the continent for thousands of years, and historians say helped create the early history of the United States.
They had, and still have today, rich culture. And so it's really important to work against the misinformation and stereotypes about American Indians not being part of the fabric of American culture today.
Renee Goki is the educational coordinator at the National Museum of the American Indian. She says the Wampanoag already had agricultural and political systems in place.
Well, to begin, Native peoples often had representative types of government. So settlers learned about those styles of government and representation.
Historians say the first year on the American continent was extremely difficult for pilgrims and settlers. They did not know the weather and terrain, and they arrived too late in the year to grow their own crops. Many died of hunger and cold. A Wampanoag member took the initiative to sign a peace alliance between both communities and offered support in agriculture, defense, and weapons.
The Wampanoag actually, along with English governor at the time, John Carver, they signed a treaty for mutual peace and to protect each other in times of war.
1 year after the peace agreement was signed, the settlers and pilgrims celebrated the first successful harvest in 1621. The Wampanoag joined the celebration and brought their own traditional food.
So the Three Sisters it's about corn, beans, and squash. And when people plant the corn first, they allow the stalk to grow. And then they plant the bean. Beans are high in nitrogen. So it's like an automatic fertilizer. So the corn stalk grows and the bean wraps around, and then they plant the squash. Squash leaves are huge.
The Three Sisters method are the three main agriculture crops of several indigenous groups in the Americas. Part of Freddie Buttery's job as a chef at the National Museum of American Indian is to teach a new generation the dietary contributions of the indigenous community, so he created a salad based on these three foods.
I think it symbolizes a lot as far as this time of year, but it symbolizes just the ability to live, and I think that's what the Three Sisters represent.
250 years later, President Abraham Lincoln declared a national holiday to give thanks and heal the wounds of civil war in the country. Cristina Caicedo Smit, VOA News, Washington.